Good morning. Hope you're well. How are you? We are Tuesday, so we are just well and truly into the start of the week, being Tuesday the 23rd of February. I am Craig Laird. If you didn't know by now, I am with you Monday to Friday, every single day. I'm not going to tell you the time. I'm going to tell you something else in a moment. But we are with you Monday to Friday live, where you can get interactive and social with me, kind of giving you a bit of a head start as to what's coming up throughout the day on Crafters TV. Now, what I'm wanting to do is want to get social again. As yesterday, we got lots of pictures sent in, which is just the best. So I want you to either go across onto YouTube or, of course, onto our Facebook, where you can get social. Let me know what you're going to be, what are you up to today? What are you up to today? Let me know, with it being Tuesday. I'm going to read comments out. I've got the iPad, I've got everything here ready to go as well. So we'll have a bit of a chat as well as we go through the day. Apologies, just turning the volume up slightly. There we go. So do let me know as well, just in case you wondered what I was doing there. Do let me know what we're going to get up to. Now, we are beyond excited. We have got an incredible, and I mean an incredible day planned for you today. We are full of launches. We've got launch day, we've got launch party, we've got launch galore. So what we're going to do is let's go through the times, kick-starting with the craft fall at 11 a.m. here in the UK, 6 a.m. Eastern Time, 3 a.m. Pacific Time. That is with myself in bed. Then we're going into launch day, which is 1 p.m. here in the UK, 8 a.m. Eastern Time, 5 a.m. Pacific Time. That is launch day, as I say. Then we're going into launch party, 4 p.m. here in the UK, or 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Pacific Time for launch party. So many launches, I know. And then we're ending the day on Craftfall as well, 7 p.m. here in the UK, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific Time. Now, have you seen your Crafters Companion newsletter this morning? If not, go across into your emails and check that one out. If you're not subscribed to the newsletter, what to do is go across onto our website, crafterscompanion.co.uk.com or .eu, and then this is where you can sign up for your newsletter. Many of you eagle eyes that are up early in the morning will already have noticed we are having a little bit of a change about come March. So from the 1st of March, we're doing a bit of a schedule change to benefit you, to benefit the springtime going into the summertime as well. Don't worry. I'm not going anywhere. I'm still going to be with you Monday to Friday. We're going to be live for the hour and we're going to have a lot of fun as well. We're just moving a little bit later on into the day. So let's just say it's can I tell them, Laura? Yeah. So, wake up call with Craig. It's going to be midday. Moving me to midday. I know, how phenomenal is that? Midday here in the UK, or of course midday, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7 a.m. Eastern Time. Didn't think that one through beforehand, did it? 7, 6, 5, 4 a.m. Pacific Time for you guys stateside as well. So it's going to be nice, it's going to be good. It's going to be midday as well, which means it's going to be nice and we're going to be refreshed and we're going to be bouncing as well. A few other changes as well that you're going to be seeing and reading over the next, probably the next day or so. But what we're going to be doing is Sunday is then going to be focused all about sewing. Certainly a majority of the Sunday, and that's going to be with Bernie. And then on a Saturday, we're going to have Games Day. I know, that's going to be so much fun as well. Games Day when it comes to the Saturday on Crafters TV. So what I want you to do is, again, just have a look at the newsletter. If you've not already subscribed, then do that. More information about all the shows and it's changing, have a look, and that's going to let you know exactly what's going to be happening. But trust me, it's going to be exciting. It really, really is. Not going to be losing any of the shows that you already know and love. As I say, we're just changing them about to benefit you guys at home as well. So that's what's going to be so fun. But what is going to be sticking around is what we have just launched recently. And this is our current weekly Get It, Got It, Good. So this is our storage bag, £35.99 here in the UK, $39.95 in the United States of America. So you are paying for the tote bag. You are getting your Spectrum Noir metallic pencils, your die release tool, your tacky glue, and your craft knife included, all for free. $35.99 here in the UK, $39.95 in the United States of America. That's your Get It, Got It, Good. And as I always like to say as well, you guys in Europe, you're not left out. Head across to crafterscompanion.co.uk.com or .eu for all of your prices in the euros as well, or wherever you are in the world. Let's kickstart. This is going to be with myself and Ben. This is going to be the first craft vault, which is 11 a.m. here in the UK, or of course, why is my mind just gone totally blank? 11 a.m. UK, 6 a.m. Eastern Time, 3 a.m. Pacific. It's just because I've just had to think about the new change of times there, and that's just totally thrown me a moment ago. Anyway, here we go. So this is Craft Vault, and this is all about our Aqua pencils here. So this is our Aqua Blend pencils. I don't know what's going on today, but the words aren't coming out. Spectrum Noir Aqua Blend pencils. So these are the primary colours. 24 pencils, $14.99 here in the UK, $19.97 in the United States of America. Half price. That is half price with these ones here. These are so much fun. They're water based, so you can be bringing in your water brush. You can be bringing in your maybe your clear overlay, pulling the colour out as well. So much things you can be doing with them. But something even more exciting is launch day. We've got these incredible boxes that you're able to make. These are going to work in conjunction with something else that's going to be launching as well. These are huge. These are our favour boxes. Dimensional favour box die collection with 30 elements. So within these ones here, you're getting your origami, ornate, happy heart, century cottage, country cottage, looking heart, and your handle favour boxes. So with these ones here, what you're doing is you are getting kind of like the stencil, so you can then draw around it, emboss it, cut it out, and then you've got the little die as well that you can then decorate the detail of the box. And the good thing with these ones here is they're going to go through something else that's then going to be launching today on Launch Party.
Supersize your die cutting and embossing potential with the Gemini Pro. With a huge 12x12 cutting platform as standard, this machine is perfect, not only for larger projects and batch making, but also for cutting all elements, mats and layers for your smaller projects in one pass too. The machine is capable of cutting through all sorts of materials, including card, craft metal, leather, wood, felt, and multiple layers of fabric. The power, pressure, and performance that you've come to expect from the Gemini family of electronic die cutting machines has been enhanced to the next level. It's been engineered for superb edge-to-edge cutting of up to 12x18 size materials with perfect results every time. In the box, along with your Gemini Pro machine, you'll receive 2 clear cutting plates, a rubber embossing mat, a magnetic shim, plastic shim, and metal shim, all 12x12. Power cord, plus of course your comprehensive instruction booklet that will guide you through the plate combinations you need for your different dies and embossing folders. Larger 12x18 plates are also available separately to boost your creativity even further. So, whether you're a card maker, scrapbooker, create paper or fabric embellishments, table decorations, wedding stationery, or keepsake gifts, to name but a few, this machine will revolutionize your crafting experience.
Gosh, I feel like completely covered when it comes to this. Check out this bad boy here. The Beast is launching today with Sarah and Ben. This is beyond exciting with this. I am going to be using it just shortly. Believe me when I tell you, honestly, I've not used it yet. I've deliberately not used it yet, so we're going to be using it later on in the show, and it's going to be the first time that I'll have used it. So this is what's coming up. So this is going to be, actually it's going to be on both shows. You're going to see it on both shows. However, what's going to happen is it's going to be launching on launch day. But when you get a hold of this one, you are going to be getting an extra 500 bonus points when it comes to your Club Inspire. How incredible is that? Think of the tier levels that that's going to lift you up to when it comes to this one here. So this is what's going to be launching. This is the granddaddy of them all, or the Beast. And this is your Gemini Pro, which is launching today on Crafters TV. So what is then also going to be launching later on today and Launch Party is these ones. You absolutely love these ones stateside as well. They launched on Crate and Craft here in the UK yesterday. You guys loved them so much that the main bundle sold out. But this is now launching today on Crafters TV. Gemini Multimedia dies. So what you've got within these ones here is you've got your 10 by 8 or you've got your 5 by 7. So you've got these ones here, comes together, $49.99 here in the UK, $39.95 in the United States of America. You're also getting your mount board, the larger one. This is going to allow you to make 48 or a 48-piece jigsaw. And then the other one is going to allow you to make a 24-piece jigsaw as well. So much fun, so good for little gifts. Maybe you want to pop them onto the front of maybe cards or projects, anything like that. But that is what's going to be coming up later on today throughout the show as well. And it's going to be a lot of fun for that one here. But let's have a look and let's see what everyone is saying so far. So we've got Lynn Harvey saying, good morning, Craig, the CTV crew and everyone from Essex. Good morning to you. Good morning, Laura. Good morning, Adam.
Morning.
Brilliant. Then we've got Kim Holden saying, good morning, Craig, from a very sunny Littlehampton. Well, good morning to you as well. So apparently, as well as Good Morning Britain said this morning, we're expected a bit of rain, but then as it goes into the next 7 to 8 days, there's meant to be very, very little rain, but a lot of sunshine. I actually went home last night, late afternoon, and sat in the garden and had a cup of tea. Brilliant. We've got Corinna saying, yeah, I made it and I promise not to send any pictures of air fryers. Yeah. If you want to know anything about that, go back and have a watch yesterday's show as well. What we've got is Polly saying, fabulous morning from Blounston, Florida. Brilliant. Kathy saying, good morning, everyone from a wet and windy Northern Ireland. Good morning. Susanna saying, good morning, Craig and CCTV crew. Last one for just now. Lynn, we've just answered your question just there a moment ago. Hi, Crafters TV. Who are the lovely people behind the cameras today? We've got Laura producing and we've got Adam, our studio manager, is in charge of everything else, basically. Couldn't manage without him. Couldn't manage with both of them. So, what I want to know is, I gave you a little bit of a tease as to the show changes. Now, maybe went in a little bit more detail of what's going to be happening. So, this has then led us to think, have you ever kind of like sent a message or a photo to someone in your phone and you've sent it to the person you weren't meant to? You know, maybe you were just, I don't know, maybe having a little moan or something about someone, or maybe you were just having a chat about someone, or you just completely sent something, a message, a picture, by accident to maybe your boss, or it wasn't meant to go to your boss, something like that, anything like that. Have you got a story like that you could tell? Do let us know. Of course, just go across onto our social media. So you can see the strap right along the bottom, Crafters TV Facebook page, or of course on YouTube, and let us know if you maybe sent a message or photo to someone that you shouldn't have by mistake as well. It'll be a nice little giggle. We're beyond excited today. We've got so much launches as well. Fingers crossed, all going well here in the UK anyway. We're seeing the light at the end of that tunnel. You know, June. Fingers crossed. Let's go for it. So we're all buzzing. We're all happy, and hopefully we can spread that happiness with all of you as well. So let's have a look. Let's start off with Craft Vault, which is 11 a.m. here in the UK, 6 a.m. Eastern Time, 3 a.m. Pacific Time. Yes, I got it right. But then we also have that second Craft Vault later on today, which is same products, but different demos, stock dependent, 7 p.m. here in the UK, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific Time. So what we're going to do is I'm going to bring in my set of pencils. We are going to bring in something I've stamped out, but let's have a look at some of the things that you can be doing. Our Aqua Blend pencils are water-based. So this is when you can start to pull out the colour with your water brush, maybe your paintbrush with your water. Maybe you want to then do things with your clear overlay, if you got hold of them yesterday in the Spectral Noir bundle. But all these colours, when it comes to the images, are done with the Aqua Blend pencils. So whether it is, you know, little children, little characters, maybe it's going to be the countryside, maybe it's going to be images of villages, maybe you've got your birds, butterflies, dragonflies, anything that you've got when it comes to your stamped images, you're able to colour in. Simply spectacular. And these last so long because you need very, very little. You don't need to do much at all to them. So it could be your stamp and dies, it could be just your stamps alone. Anything stamp based, you're able to then start to colour in when it comes to your image. So I've got a little stamp here that I'd already just stamped out at home. Watercolour card and still our waterproof ink pad. And we're going to go into our colours. So for this one here, So let's go for, I don't know. Let's just go for the red, because I know this will show up. You know what, we might bring in the yellow as well, just in case. So what we can do is bringing in our water brush, using my water brush for this one, but as I say, it could be your paintbrush with water, or even then it could be your overlay. Then I'm going to also bring in a bit of scrap card. What I'm going to do is bring in another bit of watercolour card, and I'm going to chop a little bit off just neat and tidily so that we can reuse that bit later. And then what we can then do is we can either go direct onto our image. So I'm going to colour in even just into the base of our stamp. So we're going to colour in into the base, and I'm going to add just a light bit of colour. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with my water brush. So there we go. We can then start to pull all of that colour out. So we can pull it all the way in, and then you're starting to get that depth. So you're getting that depth of colour right in the centre of the petal, but then what's happening is because you're pulling the colour out, you're able to do that blending effect. So we can then colour in direct again, and if you want to go a little bit more heavy-handed, you can do, but we're simply just pulling that colour out. We're pulling it out, we're going to really start to intensify into the base of that petal, and then starting to get lighter and lighter as we go in. So I'm going to do that again. Let's go on to this one here. So once again, laying down the colour. You can, if you want, go into some of the details, into the little folds, so we can start to really pull it in as well. So whether it is these aqua pencils, maybe aqua pens, anything like that that's water-based, I personally always find it easier to start blending when it comes to these sorts of mediums, because it's just obviously it's one pen or one pencil, and you get that effect by blending them out. What you can do, these are good for kids as well. Now, me personally, I wouldn't, you know, I've got my set that I paid for. I wouldn't give them to little kids to play with because, you know, they're my pride and joy. So what we could then do is we could then scribble onto a bit of cardstock. So this is, as I said a moment ago, this is our watercolour card. I'm just scribbling onto. Let's even bring in a bit of the yellow. Now you do a scribble of a number of colours and then give it to the kiddies with their paintbrush or water brush, and then they can be using that as a palette. So what you can then do is start to pick up the colour, and then you can start to go in and start to add where you're wanting to add that colour. What I'm going to do then is even taking a little bit of excess off and then really start to pull that out so you're getting lighter and lighter. So once again, what we can do is we can go in, and then we might want to then pull these two colours together, starting to create our own colours as well as the colours you're already getting in the tin. So we're now making a lovely orange colour, and once again we can go in with that depth, and then I'm going to take away some of that excess off, really pull that colour out again so it's getting lighter. If I want to then go back in with a little bit more, then we can do, just add in more colour. So let's just go in, actually let's go in, add a bit more red to this one here. And I'm just going to dab that excess in. And then once again, taking a little bit of the excess off, pulling it out as well. So you can then of course go either direct onto your image, or of course start to use your cardstock as a palette, pull the colours in, mix your own colours, make your own colours. So much that you can be doing. So let's then just go direct into the yellow. Now going from the red to the yellow, obviously, you know, I've potentially contaminated the nib of my water brush or paintbrush. Just give it a wipe over your cardstock, just take away that excess colour off before going into your next one, certainly if it's a lighter tone that you're going into. And then once again, we're basically, it's kind of like we're painting. We're painting with our pencils, using that as a palette, and using our water brush instead of a paintbrush. But what we can then do is, if you did manage to get your clear overlay yesterday, what we can then do is go back in with one of the colours. So tell you what, let's just change it up just for the sake of it. Let's go in with, I don't know, let's go in with a light blue. We'll go in with a light blue here, and I'm going to lay that colour down into the side. I'm going to come round the side that little bit more, work our way round, and then going in with my sparkle overlay. Now I've still got a bit of red on this from yesterday, so I'm just taking that excess off. So now replacing my water brush or my paintbrush with our sparkle overlay. We can then start to pull that one out. So then what happens is the colour that we are laying down and we are getting to really stand out is now going to be nice and sparkly once it's fully dried. So you've got your different options that you can be using there. Let's do that once again, but let's go in with the yellow here. So let's just colour that one in once more. We're then going to take away that excess of the blue here, and then what we can do is really start to pull it out once again. So we've now gone in from different options of either water brush, paintbrush, or of course our clear overlay. So I'm going to leave it like that because of course you're getting the idea, the effect of what you can be using with them. If you were to use the purple, this is what it could look like. So this is what's been used using the purple from the Aqua pencil set that we can see here. So this one here has been made using the, if I turn this one around, the currant within that one here. So we've used that one as the main focal for your flower, but you can see here the different flecks, the depths, the looks that you can get when it comes to drawing out that colour here. So that's coming up on Craft Vault, first Craft Vault being 11 AM here in the UK, or of course it is all things Spectrum. So 11 AM here in the UK, 6 AM Eastern Time, 3 AM Pacific Time, and then you'll be able to see them again. Stock dependent, because that's an incredible price for the Aqua pencils, is going to be coming up on the later show later on as well. But when it comes to the Craft Vault, it's all about Spectrum Noir, and it's up to 50% off everything that is in the show. So here we go. Great time to stock up on any Spectrum Noir products, or maybe if you've never tried any of the Spectrum Noir products, nice time to give a good try to see what you can be creating. So let's just move these ones out of the way, because coming up next, I'm waiting to read a few comments, but then coming up next, I've got what I like to think is a really cool, crafty hint and tip to show you how you can use your stamps. So let's get on to that in a moment, but let's, got a right itchy nose today. Right, itchy nose, just there. I thought I would, is itchy nose, is it money, Adam's saying, is that about, coming into money? Is that not an itchy hand? An itchy palm or something? And then a nose, is that not a fight? I think an itchy, yeah. I think that's going to be a bit of a fight. What I am going to do, so just while we carry on reading, I am cautious that we're using crafty stuff, so let's take our comments. We're going to see, Laura is saying, she's from Seattle, and she's saying, it's my weekend, way, yes. A few days away from us yet for being our weekend, but brilliant. Enjoy your time off, if that's exactly what you've got, is time off, Laura. Then we've got Corinne saying, okay, just emailed a picture, nothing fancy, no air fryers, just some simple colouring going on here. Excellent, brilliant. If you are wanting to get social with me, you can see the details along the bottom there. Crafters Companion on Facebook, or of course on YouTube. Crafters TV is the best one to search. You can be watching on our website where you can watch and shop at the exact same time, or if you do want to email in, then just email studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk and send us some pictures of what you've been making. But do let me know, have you sent any messages to people that maybe you shouldn't have? That would be good to know. Alison on YouTube saying, oh, I just found them yesterday, the whole set, not used them yet, on about the Aqua blends. Excellent. Do start using them and then send us pictures. If not in this show, then maybe over the next couple of days. And then last one for now, we've got Corinne again saying, love the puzzle dice. So glad I decided to buy them at last minute. Excellent. Glad that you did as well. Keep your comments coming. Oh, I've just seen Kaza saying, good morning from Glasgow. Good morning. Good morning. So good morning to you, wherever you are all over the world, but certainly up in Scotland. Hi. Right, let's have a look. Let's see this crafty. Say crafty, it is certainly a crafty tip, that's for sure. Let me just bring in my copy so that, yeah, Crafty Kaz on YouTube is saying, itchy nose is a sign of a row. Yeah. Laura Adams, stay out my way the rest of the day. No, it's as if that's going to happen. We're all buzzing today, beyond excited. Right, so what I'm going to do is, we're going to bring in our stamps. So this could be any stamps that you've got at home. So this could be, something like these ones that we've got that are abstract. It could be sentiments, it could be images, any of your stamps that you've got at home. This is what I'm going to use. I'm not going to show you what it's going to look like just yet. So we're going to bring in our Gilding flakes. Now this is where we're then going to be using our Gilding flakes on top of our stamps. And you might say, Strange one, Craig, never heard of that one before. I just loved this one. Laura's intrigued. So what you're going to need to do this one, you need a Stays Sticky Glue. I've got a few just for ideas for you to see if you're going to search online. A Stays Sticky Glue. It's different from a tacky glue. This won't work when it comes to the tacky glue. It's to do with the water in with your glues. So what you need is something, you know, now a company, Cosmic Shimmer, they do a flake and glitter glue. So this is an old bottle that I've got. So you've got this sort of glue you could be looking for. So you're looking for something that says a flake and glitter glue, or a Stays Sticky Glue. So that's one option. I know Indigo Blue, they do one as well. I know the Bibster as well, Dawn Bibby, she does one as well. So it's key that it needs to be a Stays Sticky Glue or a flake glue, it might be called instead. So what we can do is let's bring in our stamp set. I'm then going to bring in my black card. So using black card because this is going to show it off even better. But of course, what you then can do is maybe use it onto other cardstock if you want. So let's bring in my stamping platform here. Now we're going to treat this as if we were doing normal stamping. So while I'm doing this, I want you to think of all of these stamps that you've got at home. Now, yeah, all of your stamps, but focus on thinking of all your Crafter's Companion stamps that you've got at home, the things that you could be doing with them. So we're going to bring in some of the glue. So we're going to bring in the glue onto our mat. Now, just for time and speed, have I got a non-stick craft mat? No, I don't. Right, yo. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop this onto our glass mat. Now, I'm going to pop a little bit, I say a little bit, a good fair little bit onto our glass mat. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in just a piece of our blending foam. So this is our blending foam that we would use for our water reactives. So we're then going to go onto our glass mat. So as I've already pulled some onto the glass mat that you'll be able to see in a moment, then what we're going to do is we're really going to pull that glue into our blending foam. And then what we're going to do is we're going to dab onto our stamps. So we're going to dab this onto the stamps. Now the reason it's called a flake glue or a Stay Sticky Glue is what happens is when we put this impression onto our cardstock, it literally stays sticky for quite some time. The stickiness, the adhesive stays open for quite a long time and stays really sticky. So what I'm wanting to do is I want to make sure that I've got a good coverage over our stamped image. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit more. So let's add just a little bit more onto our glass mat here, because it is key. We want to have a good coverage when it comes to our stamp, and we really want to soak that up in our blending foam as well. So let's just make sure that we're dabbing that onto our stamp. What you can do afterwards is still use this time and time again, because unlike a tacky glue, because it stays sticky, this will stay wet basically. So pop it into a little, maybe you've got an airtight container you don't need for anything, or maybe you want to just pop it into a little cello bag, you can do. But I'm quite happy that I've now got a good coverage over my stamp. So what we can do is bring this back into our cardstock, and then we're going to stamp this one into play. So we're going to stamp, now this might have just moved slightly, but let's have a look and see. Stamp it as if you would do with a normal ink, and then we're going to remove this. Be careful though, because it stays sticky, so it does stick to your cardstock. So can you see now, you're going to get that slight impression that you can see. It's like a watermark impression. Then bring your stamp, put it into warm water, or maybe, you know, a baby wipe, something like that. It won't dry because it stays sticky, and that's the whole concept of what you're needing to use. This stays sticky. So this will stay sticky for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour. Don't need to worry about it. Of course, the only thing I would say with that, any dust, anything going about. So stamp it, then cover it as and when you need. We're going to then bring in our Gilding flakes. These are Hunky Dory's Gilding flakes, and it could be glitters, it could be microbeads, anything like that. So what we can then do is, now I've got Stay Sticky on my hand, so these are going to stick to my hands as well. But what we can then do is we can then pop our Gilding wax, our Gilding flakes over our image. We're going to take our little scourer. We're then going to pull all these excess bits off. We're going to go into all these little nooks and crannies, we're going to take away where all that image hasn't been adhered to with the glue. We're going to take away, I can see at the top, slightly where the ink pad or the stamping platform has jumped. So what we could do is keep taking away all that excess that you've got here. Now look at that. So that is now our Crafter's Companion stamp that we've then turned into a flaked image. What you could then do is using one of your star nesting dies, you can see, just do a little bit of matting and layering and see how effective that is. Really, really effective, really nice way to use your stamps as well. So whether it is, of course, you know, your flakes or maybe your glitters, anything like that. Key thing is it does need to be stays sticky, and I want to keep referring to that because a tacky glue, you know, the tacky glue as it says on the tin, and that gets really tacky really quick. It's a difference between tacky and stay sticky. So there we go. So you can have a look. I've showed you a few options that you can have a look online for and basically get flaking with your Gilding flakes and your Crafter's Companion stamps. Maybe then over the next few days you can let me see what you've been making. Right, so we have got, let's have a look and see what else everyone is saying. Right, Deborah on Facebook saying, ordered the small jigsaw with the mount board last night. Brilliant, excellent. Then we've got Anne-Marie on Facebook saying, thank you, Craig, for my 5x7 jigsaw I won on your page. I have sent in some pictures of what I did with it. I won't be able to watch launch day, having my first jab today. Anyone that's getting the first jab or jab, good luck to everyone. Daisy on Facebook is saying, I love the Gilding flakes. Last but not least for the moment, Christine on Facebook is about the puzzle die through the MIDI. I just want to know whether my MIDI would be able to cut through the board as it's strong. No, you will need to use your Gemini to use your puzzle die because it is a multimedia die, so it's not going to go through your MIDI, it's too thick. So, talking about Gemini and talking about our electric Gemini, talking about our Gemini, have a look at this. This is our brand new Gemini Pro that is launching today.
Supersize your die cutting and embossing potential with the Gemini Pro. With a huge 12x12 cutting platform as standard, this machine is perfect, not only for larger projects and batch making, but also for cutting all elements, mats and layers for your smaller projects in one pass too. The machine is capable of cutting through all sorts of materials, including card, craft metal, leather, wood, felt, and multiple layers of fabric. The power, pressure, and performance that you've come to expect from the Gemini family of electronic die cutting machines has been enhanced to the next level. It's been engineered for superb edge-to-edge cutting of up to 12x18 size materials with perfect results every time. In the box, along with your Gemini Pro machine, you'll receive 2 clear cutting plates, a rubber embossing mat, a magnetic shim, plastic shim and metal shim, all 12x12, power cord, plus of course your comprehensive instruction booklet that will guide you through the plate combinations you need for your different dies and embossing folders. Larger 12x18 plates are also available separately to boost your creativity even further. So, whether you're a card maker, scrapbooker, create paper or fabric embellishments, table decorations, wedding stationery, or keepsake gifts, to name but a few, this machine will revolutionize your crafting experience.
There we go. How amazing is that? It's actually here now. I know you guys in the stateside, you've already got your hands on it. If you do send some pictures as well, let us see how you've been using that one. But it's launching today on Crafters TV in launch day with Sarah and Ben. You know, who else is going to launch it other than Sarah herself? Now, if you get it, you're also going to get 500 extra bonus points as well for your Club Inspire as well. So absolutely phenomenal to be able to get all these extra points when it comes to getting your Gemini Pro. Now, what you're going to need is you are actually going to need it for the next collection. So have a look at this. This is what you're going to need or going to be using. This is your Gemini. This is your dimensional favor box die. So this is a collection of 30 elements in total. £75 here in the UK, $90 in the United States of America. You're getting your origami, you're getting your ornate, happy heart, country cottage, locking heart, and the handled. Fab. So that's everything that you're going to be getting when it comes to these ones here. So it's kind of like a stencil that's going to create the box. You're then going to draw around it, cut around it, and then you've got the little die as well that's going to create all that accent detail. You need the Gemini Pro for this one because of the size of it. So we're actually, I'm going to show you. Let's have a look and see. So here we go. Let's go for the origami favor box for this one here. So what we can then do, making sure I've got everything, just getting that outside die as well. So I'm going to pop that one to the side here. So we have got our, it's kind of like our stencil for this. Oh, I've got an extra one there that I don't need. What we're then going to do is, you can see how these are situated here. So we've got a really nice favor box when it comes to the size and even the shape of it here. So we've got our stencil and then we've got our little dies as well, which are then going to cut into the detailed of the die. What we can then do is, let's bring in our plate. So I've got our 12 by 12 plates for these ones here. And then we're going to bring in our rubber embossing mat. So what we can then do is we can then bring in a piece of cardstock. So let's go, I'm thinking pastel tones for this one. I'm thinking pastels. So we're nice, bringing in this a little bit. I've got some really nice samples to show you in a moment or two. So really nice collection of things that you can do. So then what we can do is, let's bring in our plates. So we are base cutting plate, then we have got our embossing mat that we can see just here. Then what we're going to do is we're going to bring in our cardstock, but then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop our favor box into place here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop it on. Now obviously, you know, at home you would then be conscious of what you're using, because you could be using all of this again. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my plastic. I'm then going to bring in my magnetic, and then what I'm going to do is bring in my top plate. I'm just trying to think. I think that's the right combination. Can't remember if I put the stencil on top of the paper or under the paper. We'll find out in a minute. Let's watch. So what we're then going to do is we're just going to feed that one up, just like you would with the Gemini. It's quieter. It is quieter. I've not used it before. I know. I've not. Debbie Fisher was telling me about it the other day, how amazing it is, but I've not used it before. Do you know what I have done, which I shouldn't have done? Because no, I've not broke it. Oh, could you imagine? No, I've not broke it, Adam. Because I put my embossing mat in, you don't need your magnetic shim. So there you go. So if you're using your embossing mat, your purple embossing mat, you don't need your shim. So what we can then do is, if we then move that one out of the way. So what's going to happen, now keeping in mind there was too much pressure on that one that I just put through a moment ago. But what happens is it's I'm going to tip it. Hopefully, no way. Okay, there we go. Can you see what we're left with is that impression that you can then come along. Now I'm not going to cut it all out. Well, but actually, let's go. Need for speed. So what we're going to do is we're following the lines. And I think this is what's great about these stencils, is the fact of, instead of it being a die, it just means that value for money, it's better. It means that you can then get that nice easy mark. You could, if you want to, draw around it, you know, if you want to do it that way. But what we can do is we can just snip these ones in. And then what happens is it starts to form that box shape. So I'm going really quick for speed and time. So following the lines all the way around. I have to say, you know, this is something I would usually pre-prep before the show, but it's that much excitement going on, lots of things that we need to go over and talk about. I didn't get a chance, but what we can still do is just following the lines. We can finish this one off. You'd be a lot neater than I am. And then just these couple of little snips in there and there. And then at this point, what you could then do is come along, and because you've got you've got all of those panels within the box, you can then come along with the decorative dies, and then you can start to create all that decoration within the middle. So I'm not going to do each of these ones, but what you can do is bring in your die, and they're just going to situate into the middle. So with these ones here, they're all the same pattern, which means you don't have to do repeat cutting. And then what you can then do is they're going to cut into the actual images. What you can then do is using the outside die that you can see just here, this is then if you want to maybe either use them separately or maybe you want to do a separate panel for these ones, you know, the option is yours. Let's have a look and see. We've got a question just come in a moment ago. So let's have a look and see. Now I noticed that where was that? So Hannah is saying, will these only go through the Pro? So let's have a look. So the stencil you can see here will go through your large Gemini plates. So that will go through that one. So if you're just wanting the stencils, then that will work. But here we go. Let's then bring in our cardstock again. And because we've got the score lines already impressioned into them, we're literally doing what we would then do if it was a die cut. We're then just following all of these lines, folding them over. You would then give them a burnish, and then what we can then do is I just need to take that little corner out there, and then there. And then even these little score lines here, I just think all of this detail that's been added, it really works well. Even if it's a box that you want to just use on its own without the decoration, you can do. You know, the thing is it's just so versatile. So what we can then do is, once that I'm quite happy that I've got all of these in place, nicely folded and scored, then just going to bring in my tape runner. I would usually, at home, I would use a tacky glue because it is construction. So what we can then do is fold these ones over. Let's bring in our strips along the bottom. So I pop my adhesive along the side, and then what we're doing is we're then going to add our adhesive on. So what we can then do is we can work that one around. So let's press. So we're pressing that into place here. We're then going to work this one around into the next part that's here. So what we can do is then press, and then we can then bring in this last one, folding that one into place. I'm going to pop my hand. Have I actually got any adhesive on there? Let's have a look and see. Here, there we go. There we are. So what we can then do is, let's do that one again. Folding these ones in. So let's start at the base. Base already included, so you don't need to do anything different. So let's press that one in, working our way around. So it's nothing different than if maybe it was kind of like a box style die that we do. But we're then going to work that round. We're going to bring it round, tuck these ones in, including that edge. Then what we can do is do this top bit. Then what's going to happen is, if we can then fold each of these into place, now look at the effect that you get. So you can seal this with maybe some ribbon. I'm going to hold it shut for you to see. So this is how it starts to then get constructed. But what I want to do is let's show you some of the things that you can be doing. So if I got one as to the one that I used a moment ago, we don't. But what we can do is let's show you all of these anyway. Now, think about the cardstock that you've got at home, your texture card, your pattern papers, maybe your Centura Perils, any of these cardstocks that you've got at home. Because we've worked out it's going to go through your large Gemini, then what happens is you're able to use your A4 or letter size cardstock. But look at these ones here. This one I can tell is the interlocking heart. So these do exactly that, interlock. But what we've done is we've cut the detail into the side, and then we've popped the cardstock in the middle here. Really nice springtime, although we've used craft card, say we, the royal we, it's a nice springtime box that we can see that's been made. This one here has actually been cardstock with some ink, distressed effect, so it's bringing in your inks, all your different mediums that you've got at home. Centura Peril, how cute is this one here? This is with our mint and also our lilac Centura Peril here, using the dies as a separate component. Then we've got on this one here. I want to say it reminds me of like a church turret or, you know, that kind of style, cathedral type top bit. But you've got that style there. Look at that. This instantly, I don't know why, but well, I do know why. It reminds me of Hulk Hogan with the red and the yellow. But look at the colours that you've got into that one there. So much fun. So much fun. This is where we've actually cut straight into the sides of the boxes so you can see all the way through. Maybe a battery operated tea light. So much things that you can be doing when it comes to the different styles in your cardstocks that you're amazing. I love these, and I just love the fact that they are in stencil form now, which reduces, one, it reduces the cost, two, it reduces the space that you need to store them, and it just means that they're more versatile in what you can do. Draw around them, or even then just run them through with your embossing mat, and then you're actually getting that impression through. So what we can then do is let's just quickly move all these bits out of the way, and let's have a look and see. We're going to have, well, in a moment, we're going to have a look at some photos, but I do want to go along and have a look at the comments. So we are, where did I get up to last? Carol on YouTube saying, love your purple shirt, Craig. Thank you very much. A mixture of plaid is a bold fashion choice. Bravo. Excellent. It's not one that I wear often. Every now and again I do wear it. In the early days of using it, I did get referred to as our stamping mat, because it seemed to remind people of the stamping mat. So that's not why I don't wear it. It's just not one that I don't tend to wear a lot. Alison on YouTube, stamping question. My stamping platform does not have a sponge layer on it. Could I use a stamping pad? My stamping platform does not have a sponge layer on it. Could I use a stamping pad underneath the stamp, please, Craig? Not too sure what you're asking with that one. If you're meaning that you don't have one of these, you know, it does help with your stamping, but it's not essential. So you can still do your stamping without one of these ones. So yes, still carry on and work away with your stamping. A couple of other questions we've got here is Dare to Dream on YouTube is saying, would this cut fabric, the Pro? Absolutely, absolutely. It's exactly like our Daddy Gemini or our Junior, but it's obviously in Pro size. It is huge. So everything that you already know and love when it comes to the Gemini, as well as when it comes to the cutting components with the plates for the fabrics, brilliant, go for it. Then we have got Kaylee on YouTube, Haley on YouTube is saying, I've just bought these favourite boxes. Are they only for the Gemini Pro? No, I've seen they can go through your large Gemini. Patty about the Pro, it is quieter, I noticed that on mine. Hannah Hex, obviously we answered your question saying, will they go through the Pro? Marie on Facebook, did Craig say that the box dies will fit through the Daddy Gemini? So the stencils that enable you to create the favourite box, then yeah, they're going to go through your large Gemini. And then last but not least, Laura Sims on Facebook, Craig, do the box dies fit some of the other dimensional boxes? That I'm not sure. I've not had a look because they've just launched today with us. I've not been able to see how they work with any of the other ones. But very, very quickly, the square panel, it is, so the square panels is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. So any decorative dies that you've got within your stash, then they're going to work on the side of them, absolutely. Right, let's have a look. We've got some photos coming right now. Wow, this is correct. Look at that one. Look at that. You've been doing a bit of colouring. We've got our photo frames that you can see here, the tri-blend pens. Oh, nice little accessories as well. Thank you so much. Oh, look at this one, Arne. Oh, look. How cute is that? Been very, very busy with the Jigsaw and absolutely adorable. And then another one as well. Oh, look. I just love what you can be doing with your Jigsaw dies. Really, really fun. As I say, when they're maybe on the front of a card because you can actually stabilize them with your adhesives, or little gifts. You know, if you can't see family and friends, make them up, send them to someone, and then you can be getting all creative. So let's very quickly, let's have a look. So these are our mixed media dies. So we've got two options available. So what you're going to see is, let's go for these smaller ones first. So mixed media dies. So this is enabling you to actually go through all of your, kind of like your mount board. 5x7 with the mount board that you can see there. So this one is a 24-piece jigsaw. But then what you've also got the option of the 8x10. So within this one here, still exactly the same in your multimedia die, and it's going to be your 10x8. It's got your mount board as well, that you can see on this one. This one being $49.99 here in the UK, or $59.95 in the United States of America. Look at this. This is our beloved, our old doggy DJ and me from a good number of years ago. So this is, I printed this out onto just a little bit bigger than 5x7. I actually printed it onto A5 size. Photo paper. I used a stick and spray and just stuck it onto the mount board. So what we can then do is, let's bring in our plates once again. So we'll bring in our cutting plate. I'm then going to pop my photo on. Got my other plates, and I've got my die. So let's bring, no, we don't have a die. We don't have a die. Now, let's show you a few samples. So tell you what, let's have a look and see at these finished samples here. Now, you know, it's kind of key that in order to make a jigsaw, right, do you know, for anyone, we have got an incredible amount of viewers this morning. So anyone that's new, just to say, right before, literally as we went live for Wake Up Call, Sarah had finished off. She'd just come off an hour and a half show on Create and Craft here in the UK. So it's exactly as she finished, I started. So we've just had to do that crossover. So this is why the actual die is still through there. So that is why, just in case you're wondering, going, Craig's not very prepared this morning. Doesn't look like it, does it? Doesn't look like it, but that is why. So very quick swap over. So what we can do is, it takes seconds to go through the Gemini. So let's have a look at these finished samples. So these are what I was on about, when we can then actually pop them through your cards. So you can see how cool does that look. So you don't just have to use them for your actual puzzles. You can then actually use it for the front of the cards, so you can see how that looks. But then what about an actual card once again? So look at the concept that you're able to make. Such a great idea. So straight away, already shown you on that one, as well as this one, you don't actually have to use it for the actual concept of a jigsaw. So you could be using them in all of these different ways. Last but not least, a nice little gift set that you can see here. And then within here, what we've done is we've created the jigsaw. So this is how it's going to look with Sarah and Leanne and Fiona, and all the bits are in there. So what we can do, don't you worry, George, it's right at the side. So I'm going to, there we go, thank you so much, my man. Right, let's bring in our die now. We're all good to go. So we are going to bring in our base cutting plate. We're going to bring in our metal shim, and even these metal shims now, they've changed slightly, nice chamfered edge all the way around. So we can bring in our metal shim. We can then bring in our image. So what I'm then going to do is, I'm going to then just pop that one over the top. And the reason I made mine kind of like A5 in size, just so it's bigger than I actually need, just to know more. So we can then pop that one through, tape that one into place. And then what I'm going to do, just to give it a little bit of a helping hand, I'm going to turn it just at the angle. So then, therefore, it's hitting a smaller amount of cutting points, and then obviously it builds and builds and builds. Then what we can then do is bring in our plastic shim, and then what we can do is bring in our top cutting plate. Layer these ones up. Let's bring in our Gemini Pro. Popping that one in, feeding that one up, and then I'm just going to let go. I cannot get over how quiet it is. Cannot get over how quiet it is. So your jigsaws. So then, this is your jigsaw, how it's going to be looking in a moment. So we've popped that one through our Gemini Pro. As we have established, it's actually going to go through your Daddy Gemini as well. But what we can then do is then take in all these bits off. Now I'm going to tear or peel that bit off, and then I'm going to pull all these bits out, and then we can then take this bit out. Now straight away, what we can do is, are you ready for this? Are you ready? Look at this. Look at that. Oh my gosh, I hope my mum's not watching, because this is going to be our Mother's Day gift. What we can then do is take all these away, and then we've got little own gifts. Now, with everything going on at the moment, I know puzzles have been such a big thing. So you can create your own puzzles. These could be, you know, maybe little messages, maybe little things that you want to pass on, and what they have to do is to get the clues or something, they have to put the jigsaw together, or you're sending, you know, your grandparents photos of the kids or that, but then what you could do is do it in a jigsaw form. So then they can start working and playing with it, passing a bit of time. So much fun within these ones here. So let's even then just mix them all up. So once again, just say that was just photo paper. I printed mine, inexpensive printer, and I done it on a photo paper. And then I used our permanent stick and spray, and then we popped that onto the mount board that you get within the bundle too. Then what you can just do is have a lot of fun, play about, start to build them. There, we've got that one here and here. What about things like home decor as well? What you can then be doing, we've seen how you can do them onto their scrapbook pages. It could be nice little wedding gifts. Little wedding gifts would be really nice as well. Let's have a look. That's not going to go there. There we go. There's my head. It's just there. It's big enough at times. Don't want to lose my head, do we? Here we go, and then there we go. Oh, I'm getting a helping hand from Adam and Laura. This could be a new game segment. That one. Oh, that's that one. No, yeah, that's that one. It is. And then the chin. No, that's DJ's tongue. That's not that one. There's that one. See, this. I just absolutely love this one. No, we've not got 5 minutes, Adam. We're going to keep going and keep going and keep going until I get this done. So haven't. Oh no, my arm's too high for there. But obviously, you can see how much fun this is being put together. My mum is going to absolutely love this one. As I say, let's hope she's not watching. Then let's just, is that going to go? Let's, you know, you get the gist. I'm not really good at jigsaws, am I? Considering it's one of myself, that would go into there. Oh, there we go. There's my forehead. And here we go. Let's go. And is that there? There. No. Do you know what? I know. There you go. You're getting the idea. You're getting that idea. Can you imagine me having to do like a 1,000-piece baked bean jigsaw or something like that? Imagine that. No, I shouldn't do that to me. That would take me months and months. Or what would happen is I wouldn't be able to complete it at all. I can't even actually place together 24. Anyway, so this is the jigsaw one. So this is what's going to be launching as well today with Sarah and Ben. So this one here that you can see, the other size, that is your 10 by 8, getting the mount board as well. So that is your $49.99 here in the UK. $59.95 in the United States of America. Not forgetting, again, you do get your mount board. And then what the other option that you've got as well is your 5x7. And with your 5x7, you're also getting your mount board as well. So $29.99 here in the UK or $39.95 in the United States of America. So that is your jigsaw dies that you can have so much fun with. And they're going to be coming up in launch party just in a few hours' time. Just to let you know as well, so the actual main bundle, there was a bundle together on Create and Craft yesterday, was meant to be a pick of the day today, sold out last night even before we got to the main pick of the day shows, and then I believe did the individual ones even sell out as well this morning, I think. Correct. If not, then it's close. We'll need to double check, but anyway, you know how popular it is. HSN Sarah didn't even get live to them when it came to the shows with the jigsaws, and they had sold out. So that is how just phenomenally popular that they are. But we can breathe now, and as we come to the end of this show, let's have a rundown and let you know what's coming up throughout the day here on Crafters TV. So what we're going to be doing in an hour's time with myself and Ben, 11 a.m. here in the UK, 6 a.m. Eastern Time, 3 a.m. Pacific Time, is the dream team. We've got myself and Ben. Laura, you're on this one as well, aren't you? So Laura and George as well. Is that George as well? Brilliant. So we are going to be here in an hour's time as well. Adam's out because he's got all this managing to do as well. So he's got a lot of important things to do. Then try and keep us in line. Thanks, Adam. So that is your craft vault. Craft vault, again, you've got a second one later on at the end of the day, 7 p.m. here in the UK, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific Time. That same products, different demos, stock dependent. But what we can do is let's come back to 1 p.m. here in the UK, 8 a.m. Eastern Time, 5 a.m. Pacific Time. That is your launch day. That is your launch day of the Gemini Pro. Incredible. I'm going to be watching that one for sure. And then what we're going to do is we're going to follow up onto launch party. Also going to feature the Gemini Pro, but we're going to have the Jigsaw dies in there as well. 4 p.m. here in the UK, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Pacific Time. So if you missed the start of the show, then always go across on our website, crafterscompanion.co.uk.com.eu. Sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already. Today's newsletter has already gone out with some changes, good changes that are happening when it comes to Crafters TV on the new scheduling. Don't worry, Wake Up Call with me is still going on. We are just being moved to a much better time of the day. Much better. I don't need to get up early. I mean, it's much better for you guys at home as well. But yeah, it's going to be so much fun for all of us. This is why we're all kind of like giddy today with excitement. So thank you so much for joining me again. I'm going to see you in an hour with my tag team partner, the one, the only, Mr. Ben Mosley, and we're going to have some fun on Craftfall as well. Stay safe, stay well, and there will be no air fryers. Bye.